Well, the whole theme of the session really was ways that technology can be applied to reduce wastage in the container chain. And there were 4 speakers, 4 different companies, each of whom had ideas for taking waste out of the system by getting people to share the assets that they've got, encouraging the sharing of information, which seems to be the sticking point, as it has been for years. I think that we are getting to a point now where enough companies realise that by opening up a little with their competitors and their clients, they can actually make considerable gains, financial gains, through efficiencies, through greater asset utilisation. And all 4 ideas had a similar basis, but they were all different. And there was a lot of discussion amongst the panellists. We had a big crowd of people, clearly, who are interested in making more money or wasting less money, I guess. You know, it makes sense. You've got a whole bunch of empty containers on one side of Rotterdam, and somewhere else in Rotterdam, somebody needs empty containers. So why don't we put the 2 together, for instance? That's an easy thing to do, and everybody benefits. I think there are still barriers to opening up this sort of exchange of information, at least. And I did suggest to them during the panel discussion that maybe we need to wait for the next generation to come along. You know, the millennials are used to sharing, used to open access, you know, music sharing, video sharing. By the time they're in charge, give it another 20 years, and they're the general managers and CEOs of these companies, then I think we'll see a different way of doing things. But anybody who can make a project like that stick right now is in a position to help industry make a lot of money, I think. I think the biggest lesson that I've learned in the last 12 months is you never know what's around the corner, and things can change really fast. I was at a big conference last month, and somebody put it this way: you know, the world can change faster than you can hold a board meeting now. And by the time you've held the board meeting, conditions have changed again. I think the biggest challenge, as it always is how to maximise asset utilisation. You know, all the companies exhibiting here, the visitors to Intermodal, they've all put a lot of money into assets. And if you can't employ them effectively and efficiently and maximise that employment, you're missing out. You're not making the money that you should be making or could be making. Are you making enough to pay back the investment, which may have been made at higher rates of interest after all? I mean, these days it's cheap to borrow money, and that may be a problem. We've seen it in the container shipping world, you know, overcapacity. And I don't see a way to eliminate that anytime soon. A lot of people complain about the low oil price environment. It's difficult to do business. But when, you know, it wasn't that long ago, we had oil prices even lower. I think it's good for Europe that we've got low oil prices, because Europe's a competitive disadvantage compared to emerging markets in Asia, the Middle East, and North America. With now it's low oil prices, low gas prices after the shale revolution. Europe's competitive disadvantage shrinks in a low oil price environment. So that's good for us in Europe. It'll be interesting to see next year when Intermodal goes to China again, what they think of it over there. And I'd be very interested to go and see what they think of that and the political developments in Europe and North America. I've got to say that I'm surprised every year when I come to Intermodal to see how many people it attracts. Thousands of visitors every year. And obviously they're attracted by the new technical developments on display. They're attracted by the opportunity to meet their clients and their competitors and their old friends in the business. But there is a lot going on, and there is a lot of new technology, new systems that industry can use to improve its chances of improving asset utilisation and reducing waste. and therefore making more profits.